All right. We'll go ahead and start with our post-race, continue on with our post-race press conferences for today's CampingWorld.com 500. We are now joined by our race-winning crew chief, Todd Gordon, and our race-winning team owner, Roger Penske. Todd, we'll start with you. I'm sure it was pretty stressful on top of the box in those final laps. Tell us about the final laps in the race today.
I'd say we were probably the lowest stress group coming into today, but the final laps there, we had a good car. I felt like we could contend and pit execution in the pits and got us to the point where we got off pit road that last fuel only stop first, and it's just watching it go and seeing what was happening with the 16 because he was trying to make it on fuel. Wasn't sure where that was going to go, but then when the caution comes out, it bunches everybody up. It definitely put us in a position where you knew it was going to be restarts, and playing the one restart rule, we got through it, and with the caution coming out pretty quickly there, survived. So just phenomenally proud of this whole Shell Plains Oil team and what they did.
All right, and Roger, the number 22 team has swept all three races in the contender round. Big accomplishment for the team. Talk about their momentum as of late.
Well, I think if we sat down prior to this round and said someone would win all three, they'd said you were crazy. But I think the execution that Todd and Joey obviously driving just at the top of his game. And I think today when you look at that last pit stop, that made the difference both in the 2 and the 22 getting out and getting out in the lead there was key. And to me, it's moving on to the next round. This is going to be tough as we go into these next three races, and our goal obviously is to get to Homestead with 2 and the 22. But great job, and it's part of this is not just who's here at the racetrack. It's the people who support us back at the shop, some 350 people who work every day, and we don't see those folks. I've said it before, and our sponsors, Shell Plains Oil, and no question the Ford motor was strong today, Roush Yates, and Miller Lite. We had our best game on for the last three races, and I think it proved it, with the success we've had. But, we know we've been in this position before leading into a particular situation. We know how tough it is to stay on top.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please state your name and affiliation. All right, we'll start with Stan.
Stan Creekmore with RPMTonight.com. Todd, what was the process of deciding on that last restart to switch positions so that Logano and his teammate weren't front to rear to each other?
Well, Joey and I talked a little bit about it. I let him make both those decisions, so maybe that's a better question later. But felt like, the 24 has been strong. Obviously, qualified on the pole by 0.2 and something. So, the 24 is really strong and didn't really want to stack the 24 and 88 together in one lane. So knew that Brad was in a really good position and as far as making it on the next round. And we felt like splitting the Hendrick cars up and ourselves up that we could get a better run, being the restart, being the leader. You get to set the restart and took the opportunity to split those guys up.
All right, we'll go to the far right.
Jonathan Ingram from the Sports Exchange. What was your take on the first restart when it was decided that it really wasn't a green flag start?
I think you need to ask somebody in race control how that's defined. I thought it was over at that point, but obviously I didn't quite understand it as well as they do. So fortunately, we got a second opportunity and did the same thing.
Any additional questions for Roger or Todd? Is there a question up front?
Matthew Copeland with WSFA TV. Mr. Penske, for years, many would assume Roush was the premier Ford team. Can you tell me a little bit about the rise of Penske? Y'all have been doing so well lately. Can you tell me a little bit about the rise of Penske and how you've been performing?
Well, I don't know if it's been a rise or not. I think, it's just been a team that's really come together when Brad came on board. And, we saw some success in 2012. And, having Joey be available to come on the team, and these guys have worked together. And I've said it before with Paul Wolf and Todd, both of them coming up through the Nationwide or Infinity Series, gave them confidence, and also, built that nucleus of people, around the team. And I think Roush H has stepped up. We thank them for that. And I think our aero guys, all the people back at the shop have made a difference. Roush is a great organization. I think they're showing some speed here now, and I think that as we get into the different rule package, I think they'll be right back there.
All right, we'll go ahead and finish up with Jenna.
Jenna Fryer, AP. Todd, I know this was way back in the field behind you, but the 4-car knew it had a problem and knew that it couldn't go on the restart. What's the right thing for a guy to do in that situation?
I don't know what was going on there, to be honest with you. I mean, you got to try to maximize your opportunity to make it, right? So I think if the car's still running and still capable of going, you try to get everything you can out of it.
All right, Roger and Todd, congratulations on the win today, and good luck next weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and continue on with our post-race availability in today's CampingWorld.com 500. We are now joined by race winner Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford. Joey, you've swept all 3 races in the contender round. Quite an accomplishment for you and the 22 team. Talk about your team's momentum in the win here today.
We got momentum, that's for sure. This team's just been firing all late right now. It's amazing. All these different types of racetracks we've been able to win at this season, and how hard everyone keeps fighting. And we want the big trophy at the end of the year. We want to win every trophy in between, but we want the big one at the end of the season. And this, what we've shown here this last round is a big deal. But the fact of the matter is we're back to 0 again. And what we do have going for us that other teams don't have is a lot of confidence. We got momentum, and we're relaxed. We've shown that we know how to do it. We just got to keep going out there and doing what we know how to do.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it up to questions. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start up front with George and then go to Don.
Yeah, George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. Can you take us through the last, I guess it was the only green-white checker that counted. How concerned were you that Junior could catch you there?
Well, it was going to be some back and forth for sure on what was going to happen. And when you're lining up against the best at super speedway racing, and in a very fast car, he's proved that throughout the whole day that his car was very fast. Also proved that the 24 was really fast throughout the day as well. So, wanted to have that 24 behind me to push. I felt like he was really good on restarts. I saw that earlier in the race. So I felt like, okay, that's what I got to do. I got to get around those guys. And, I was able to, I wanted to split them up for one. I thought those two together would be too strong to beat. So I felt like I had to split them up. I thought the top lane was the lane of choice that I felt like we needed to have. And was able to make the run and get out ahead enough before the caution came out.
All right, we'll go to Don Coble and then up to the press box.
Joey, Don Coble with Morris News Service. After you kind of figured out that you had won, Talladega is a place where Earnhardt is, this is their mecca. Fans were throwing stuff. Did you have to steer through some of that? And you weren't really the villain, but, anybody that beats Earnhardt is kind of like a guy who kicks a puppy,
I was aiming for him. I was thirsty, so I was aiming for everything. And it's kind of a cool explosion when you hit beer cans and stuff. It explodes all over the place. So kind of ashamed they're throwing their beers full. I feel bad. I should have drank them. But that was kind of interesting. Usually there's one or two, but that was kind of like it was raining out there. So kind of new thing, but that's okay. It's everyone's passionate about their driver, and that's what makes our sport great. I appreciate the passion that our fans have, and I think that's something that's really cool to see about the way people act for their drivers. So hey, it is what it is. Doesn't hurt my race car, and our race cars are built strong, so they can hit a lot of stuff and keep on rolling.
All right, we'll go up to the press box.
Thanks. It's John Oriovitz with ESPN.com. Joey, Roger Penske just said that, you would have been crazy if you thought that anybody could win all 3 races in a round. Can you offer your thoughts on what you've achieved by sweeping this round and the momentum it gives you going forward?
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible. I can tell you that much. When you come to chase time, everyone's bringing their A game. You're bringing everything they got, the best they can, not only with their race cars, but every driver's trying to find that extra little bit. And to see what this 22 team's done coming into the chase and being able to, have some very good finishes in the first round, click off 3 wins here in a contender round. That's it sets a statement, and that's what we tried to do. We were in situations throughout this chase that maybe we didn't have to win, but our job is to win. That's what Roger Penske, expects from us. He expects excellence. He expects us to win a lot of races and want to produce. We're a performance business, and we got to go out there. And if there's a trophy, we're supposed to get it. That's our job, and just need to be able to do that.
All right. Any additional questions for Joey? We'll go up to the press box and then come back downstairs. We're all clear in the press box. We'll go to Bob and then over to our far right.
Bob Pockris, ESPN.com. I'm here in the middle now.
Hey. What's up?
Do you feel like you could have held off Junior if there were more than if their caution didn't come out? And I was curious if you had seen any of the replays yet of how the caution did come out with the Harvick wreck.
I didn't see how the crash started or what happened. To be honest with you, I have no clue what's going on. I guess there's been some talk of things. I have no clue. So I am out of the loop right now, which is a good thing for a change. It's nice to be able to not really know what's going on here. But, I think as far as the last restart and what concerned me, racing the 88, obviously he was very fast. Like I said, he had a very fast race car. Could we have held him off? Yeah, of course. We did it earlier in the race. We were fighting him hard. Was it going to be easy? No. It was going to be very challenging. It was going to be very hard. We're racing against, the best speedway racer that we know, right? I mean, he's won a ton of these speedway races, and I look at him as one of the elite speedway racers, and to race against him for the win was not going to be easy, but to be able to come out with a checker flag meant a lot.
All right, we'll go to our far right.
Joey, Mr. Gordon was talking about when you were coming to the green-white checker that y'all had a conversation about splitting up the Hendrick cars. Can you take me through that conversation that y'all had and what made you come to that decision?
Well, I felt like, just kind of going off of what I learned earlier in the race, right? That's what you got to look at and you say, okay, 24 car, obviously the fastest car on the racetrack. He's proved that throughout the race. He was able, every time he gets shuffled out, he drove all the way back up. Obviously, he's a great race car driver, but he had a fast race car as well. We saw it in qualifying as well, how fast his car was. I know the 88 was fast. He led a lot of laps. We ran around him all day as well. I know the 2's got the same thing as me. And I thought if those 2 Hendrick cars team up, it'd be very, very hard to beat them. No matter how great Brad and I always work together, it's going to be hard to beat them. And, that just goes to show we have a lot to work to do still. We still have to be better. But the strategy of splitting them up and getting the push from the 24 was going to, I felt like it was my best bet.
All right, we'll go ahead and finish up with Don Coble in the middle.
A quick thought on that. After all the stuff's going on behind you, which I'm sure you're more worried about the 88 beside you, was there ever a point where you two were like, he was in front, you were in front, he was in front? Did it really come down to just when that light came on?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely when it decided it. I was in front of him the whole time, and then the caution light came out, and it's over. We left, so it's kind of a mood point after that. What's going to happen? Because the cars behind you lift, you lose your pushes, so you don't know what was going to happen after that. But I know we had a good start. Being that control car was a big deal. Having the 24 to push me, getting up to second to third gear, gave us enough of a lead that as he started pulling us back on the inside, he definitely had momentum as he was starting to catch us and probably was going to be in the lead at some point. I don't know if he would have cleared us, but we would have been side by side off at 2 most likely. So it's hard to say what would have happened, but the fact of the matter is they're crashing behind you, right? You got to throw the caution. It's a big crash, so we weren't going to be able to go back through there again. No, he wasn't. Not that I know of. I mean, and I probably had the best view of anyone. So, only the 2 of us probably could see that the best.
All right, Joey, congratulations and thanks for joining us.
Great. Thanks, guys.